It is 6:31. In less than half hour, the polls will open one final time for voters to cast their ballot in this 2020 election.
It's been record-breaking numbers for voting already. Early voting, mail-in voting, more than 2 million people in Maryland have already voted. WMAR2 News Megan Knights outside Western High School in North Baltimore with what you need to know if you do plan to go ahead and vote on Election Day. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Christian. Well, know for one that it is very windy outside, so you're going to want to dress accordingly, like Lynette has been saying all morning long. But other than that, really, voting on Election Day is going to be very similar to what we saw voting with early voting earlier this week. Only the main difference is going to be where you're going to be able to vote. So, for example, behind me here, Western High School is one of 24 voting centers that are going to be open on Election Day. That's more than that was available to voters during early voting. However, because of COVID-19, not every traditional voting location is going to be open. So it's likely that where you would typically go to cast your ballot is not going to be open this year. So make sure that you check with your local Board of Elections. They should have a list of all the voting centers that will be open today. Now, polls open at 7 o'clock this morning, so in about a half hour from now, they'll be closing at 8 o'clock tonight. If you are standing in line by 8 o'clock, you will get to vote no matter how long that line is. And new this year, you can register to vote at a polling location on Election Day. Just bring a driver's license or state ID, and even if your ID is expired, we know that the MVA has been having a tough time keeping up with that because of all the COVID-19 restrictions. Poll workers still should be able to get you registered to vote.
And if you're not registered, the election judges will scan that, and that'll bring up a pre-qualified list of voters. You'll be on that list because you have a record in the MVA database, and you'll be able to get your ballot and cast it on the voting unit.
So there you go, one-stop shop, register to vote, and then go and vote. Now, if you still have that mail-in ballot that you got to get in, you can do it either obviously putting it in the post box, or you can do it into a drop box location. And election officials actually recommend you drop it in a drop box just because it'll get there much faster than if it goes through the mail system. But either way, it either needs to be postmarked or put in a drop box by 8 o'clock tonight. That is the deadline. We're live in North Baltimore. Megan Knight, WMAR2 News.